Hello students, in the previous video we discussed the challenges we face while architecting an application on the cloud platform. In this video we will discuss what serverless is and how it can help us overcome the challenges with the cloud and its characteristics. So let's get started. As we discussed in the previous video, we have to configure an instance type according to our needs. We will have to select an appropriate storage type, an AMI, and other relevant things for our servers. Also, we have to keep an eye on updates of the servers. We have to perform a couple of steps to ensure that our application is highly available. It means the availability of our infrastructure to function continuously even if some of its components fail. To maintain high availability, we would have to launch a replica of our instance in another availability zone in case of failure. And we would have to attach a load balancer for distributing the incoming traffic across the servers. We also need to work on scalability. Scalability is the ability of our infrastructure to handle the larger load by adding or removing the instances. For that, we have to use an auto-scaling service, for which we would have to create an auto-scaling group so that the backup servers will scale up and scale down based on the incoming traffic. However, in serverless, we don't need to manage all the above mentioned services. Instead, all these services will be managed by the cloud service provider itself. We just have to deploy our code. Now let's see the AWS definition of serverless and its characteristics. What is serverless? Serverless is a computing technology in which cloud providers allocate on-demand servers and take care of those servers on behalf of the users. Essentially, we don't have to worry about the servers and their deployment. Just put our code and the cloud provider will take care of all the underlying resources. One important thing to note here is that the name serverless may confuse you that there is no server involved, but that's not the case. Serverless still relies on the servers for the execution of the code. However, we will not have to launch, scale, and maintain these servers as they are completely managed by the cloud provider. Now let's understand some characteristics of serverless computing in brief. First characteristic, hostless. As we discussed, serverless doesn't mean without servers. Our applications still work on the servers, but the servers are not managed by us. The cloud providers manage them. So this is a takeaway from this video. Second, elasticity. Elasticity is the ability to add resources when we need them and release resources when we don't need them. In serverless, we don't need to configure manual scaling or auto scaling while hosting our application. The cloud provider takes care of the scaling for us. So, as per the load on the servers, it will automatically scale up or scale down the servers. Third, shorter execution time. The code deployed in serverless computing is executed quickly in a relatively shorter time duration. This makes the entire process seamless and faster. Fourth, pay for what you use. While using serverless computing, we only pay for the time our code executes rather than paying for the whole server unit. We only pay for traffic served and the time for which the server was required to run the code. Billing is metered in increments of 1 millisecond, which makes serverless computing cost effective. So that's all about serverless and its characteristics. In the next video, we will look into serverless benefits. See you there.